is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just being updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Headed for the bunker? Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. On the green in regulation.
Even par, currently.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Coverage on EA Sports continuing. We're at the 14th hole, and that's where we find our featured golfer. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, just been holding steady all day long, Frank.
A solid round of golf. 4 of these will certainly bode well come the end of the week.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line.
Well, when he goes after it like he is here.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate at a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage, but golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else, but it really works there. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, how much does that birdie help the cause?
Well, it doesn't look like much right now, Rich, just sneaking inside the top 20. But at the end of the day, that might be the one that turned the tide.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course.
Yeah, it's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
Yeah, at least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
That takes him to 1 under on the day. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
And with that birdie, into the top 25 on the leaderboard.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side. But it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
Did the job right there. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow for our entire